inside my life. Maybe you can feel my pain. Maybe this what made me. Maybe this is what made me. Look inside my mind. Maybe you can.
What's up, Vibe family? This is your boy KC. In this video, I will be covering a case of Erin Justice. Now, this case is from 2004, and I will be covering it and give you guys the information. Now, this case specifically, I have not seen on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure you guys want to know about this case and shed some light on this precious, young, beautiful black queen who life was taken. Now, Erin Justice was born March 1st, 1988 in Joliet, Illinois. Her mother, Valerie Justice, and her father, Edric. In March 2004, Erin was a 16-year-old high school student and member of her high school track team. She lived in a Naperville apartment with her mother, Valerie Justice, and defendant, Valerie's husband of 4 months. Defendant and Erin had a strained relationship, and Erin did not approve of defendant and Valerie's recent marriage. On March 3rd, 2004, defendant and Erin were in an apartment together while Valerie was working at her second job at a nearby gas station. Defendant offered to give Erin a massage, commenting on how she must be sore after track practice. Erin accepted this offer but protested when defendant made sexual advances during the massage. Erin ultimately accused defendant of forcing her to have intercourse. She reported that defendant put his mouth on her breast and penetrated her you-know-what, and began kissing her and placing his tongue in her mouth. The sexual assault ceased when defendant heard a noise which he believed was the garage door opening. After the assault, Erin left the apartment with her dog and ran barefoot to the apartment of a neighbor, Lazarus Bankhead, who was a high school friend. Erin told Lazarus that defendant sexually assaulted her, and Lazarus' mother, LaWanda Bankhead, contacted the police. Erin gave an oral statement to a police officer at the Bankhead apartment. She also spoke to her mother and told her mother that defendant sexually assaulted her. Erin was taken to the hospital for an examination and evidence was collected. Specifically, swabs were taken of Erin's left breast and right cheek for DNA testing. Pursuant to Erin's report, that defendant had placed his tongue on those areas. After the medical examination, Erin went to the police station to give a handwritten statement detailing the assault. Defendant was arrested for the sexual assault but was released pending the outcome of DNA tests. On March 5th, 2004, defendant and Valerie purchased a townhouse in Aurora, as was their plan prior to Erin's allegations against defendant. Defendant was not permitted to move into the townhouse and was not given a key. He was permitted to stay at the townhouse during the day when Erin was at school. Valerie would leave a key for defendant and would collect it from him at the end of the day. Erin had no knowledge of this arrangement. Although defendant was not allowed to live in the home, Valerie saw and spoke to defendant frequently. She confronted defendant about Erin's allegations, and he admitted that he ran a bath for Erin and massaged her legs, but denied touching her in any other way. Defendant indicated that Erin was angry at him because they argued over her cellular telephone usage. Defendant maintained that he did nothing wrong and assured Valerie that the DNA test would vindicate him. He repeatedly asked Valerie to go to the police and tell them that Erin was lying and changing her story, even though Erin had remained consistent. Valerie declined, reasoning that the DNA evidence would speak for itself. Sometime after Erin's death, DNA testing revealed that traces of DNA were present on swabs. March 27, 2004, Erin was scheduled to leave town to spend spring break with her father, Edric Justice. Valerie advised the defendant that Edric would be picking up Erin between 9 and 10 a.m. on March 27. She asked the defendant to reschedule a 10:30 a.m. veterinary appointment for the family dog so that the defendant would not encounter Erin when he went to retrieve the dog. The appointment was rescheduled by the defendant for 12:30 p.m. Valerie went to work early Saturday morning, and at 7:48 a.m. she called the defendant's phone and left a message advising him to cancel the appointment altogether because plans had changed and Erin was not going to her father's house until later that afternoon. At 10 a.m., Valerie spoke to the defendant on the phone and gave him this information. Valerie had called Erin several times that morning but was unable to reach her. Sometime after 10 a.m., Valerie left work and went to the townhouse to check on Erin. When she arrived at her home, Valerie found that the front door was ajar. She heard the dogs barking and could tell that they were in the downstairs laundry room. She observed stains on the carpet and the wall leading up the staircase, which she later realized were blood stains. She went upstairs to look for Erin and found her dead in the bathroom. Erin's body was lying in the bathtub, which was filled with bloody water. Valerie ran screaming out of the home and called 911. At about the same time, Valerie's neighbor, Kayleen Steele, was also calling 911. Steele's townhouse was connected to the Justice Unit by a common wall. Earlier that morning, between 8 and 8:40 a.m., Steele heard scuffing and bumpy sounds, a female voice that sounded distressed, and whimpering noises from the Justice home. She also heard a mature male voice saying, "So help me God," and a young female voice saying, "I'll just leave then, let me go, I'll leave," followed by a thump coming from upstairs. Sometime after 10:30 a.m., Steele heard a scream of sheer terror, which prompted her to call 911. Valerie was taken by ambulance to the hospital. Valerie's sister contacted the defendant to tell him that Erin was dead and Valerie was hospitalized. The defendant seemed undaunted by the news, but indicated that he would go to the hospital to be with Valerie. Aurora police waited for the defendant at the hospital after he assured them that he was headed there, but the defendant never came. An Aurora police officer called the defendant on the phone, but the defendant declined to speak to the officer on advice of counsel. The defendant did agree to meet with police the day after the murder, with counsel present. During that meeting, the defendant admitted that he went to the townhouse at approximately 7 a.m. on the day of the murder, but denied seeing or speaking to Erin. The defendant could not account for his whereabouts after leaving the townhouse other than to say he went to get coffee at a location he could not recall, then drove around or sat in his parked car in locations he also could not recall. The defendant could not explain why